It's Tim Albright with AVNation with the road to InfoComm. InfoComm 2026 happens June 17th through the 19th. And with us to discuss Bluefin is my dear friend, Erin Keplinger. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Tim, for having me.
Absolutely. You guys are over in the Central Hall, C9607, C9607. Erin, you guys have got a lot of stuff going on. You're not just in that booth, you're in several others as well. But this time around, what will we find in the Bluefin booth?
Thank you. Yeah, that's correct. C9607. You will find in the Bluefin booth, we have a nice size booth. It's tall, easy to recognize. You're going to find a wide array of our digital displays with built-in operating systems. For those who don't know Bluefin, we are a digital display manufacturer, and we build in industry standard operating systems. We partner very strongly, original partners with Brightside and Built-in. We also offer Windows and Linux and Android as well, both 15 and 11. So those are some really great developments for our CMS partners and digital signage software across the board. They really need to be able to have that kind of power to be able to process the content that end users are wanting. More and more, they're wanting 4K, AI, generative. They need to be able to do that. And so those operating systems are key to that final product they get. What you'll see in the Bluefin booth, we have a wide array of screens. We have your standard 16:9 formats all the way up to 86. But we also have really found our spot in the market with our unique. That includes ultra wides, everything from a 49.1 down to a 21.9. We also offer squares. Those are hugely popular. You'll be seeing some of our 22 and 33. And then also the circle. People can't look away from a round screen. So we have some really great content examples of those. And how we like to present the content, especially to show like this, is we like to do what I call vertical vignettes. We really like to show the screens and the content in context. So you'll see maybe the circle one in a museum context. And we work with some of our end users, some of the projects that are currently deployed to get content that's really in the field right now, so that when somebody comes to the booth and looks at it and is thinking about maybe a museum project that they're bidding on and working on, they're getting inspiration and they're seeing how other people are actually using it. It's the same thing with like our outdoor displays. Those will be really contextualized in a stadium or hospitality environment. And so that is, those are really the main applications for that. Theme park, stadiums, outdoor hospitality, they're looking for those displays that can handle the weather. We have higher ed and also corporate as a vertical vignette that we'll be focusing on. And so you can see there some of our room scheduler, with LED lights, and also some things you might have above a door at a university with breakthrough content for, maybe it's an emergency alert and also schedule changes, that sort of thing. Healthcare is going to be one. That's a really growing vertical market for digital signage, I think, across the board, and certainly for us. And so you'll see some examples of things that are currently deployed in doctors' offices and clinics around the nation. Retail is a no-brainer for digital signage. Everybody thinks retail when they see digital signage. We have a great example there, one that was also showcased at the National Retail Federation. It's going to have some sensor, lift and learn elements with partners there. And then the content is really relevant. Again, this is all currently deployed in stores and around the nation. So it's a really great use case example for people attending the show, and also for them to bring, if they're working with a customer that they're showing around, maybe when to talk about digital signage, it gives them an opportunity to show them some options and what's possible.
Erin, you mentioned the vertical vignettes. How important is it for, the IT director, the AV manager, to see something like a Bluefin display in what would in essence be their real world environment, for them to actually see your product in an area or a use case that they would recognize and that they could see?
I think for us, it's been hugely important. This is something we rolled out last year, and we had a lot of success because people have something they're accustomed to. They're accustomed to a 16:9 plastic frame, attach a player to the back setup. So when they see that maybe with that 16:9, they also can do something else that's a little bit different, maybe an ultra wide and portrait orientation, let's say, and they see it's got a metal frame, so it's a lot more durable. It can stand up to an environment. It's rated for 24/7 usage. And now you're talking about a single plug and play, so reduced points of failure. And our 21.5 and under, they also are PoE. So now you're talking, oh, I don't have to run cat cable for that. And so you start to do the math really quickly. You start to think about the future of the project, the current cost, like the lifelong cost of ownership. You start to think about if I want to change things up, how does that work? Then you look at CMS compatibility. We are compatible with 100% of CMSs out there because of our operating systems. And so you start to realize, oh, I have options and I have creativity, and my client wants to do something that is different than a 16:9 plastic frame screen hanging up. That's actually viable now for me. And so I think it's really empowering to the integrators. Knowledge is power in these situations. Having expertise is what's going to give you a one-up when you're trying to really work with a client and build that trust. So I think it's really important for them to see that and also have that context. And then in doing that, it opens up opportunities. Then they can start to look around and their wheels are turning. And from there, it's just a matter of finding what they want.
Well, we can see that, and in the Central Hall, C9607, C9607. Erin, not everyone's going to InfoComm, so if they're not going and they want to follow along with everything that Bluefin is talking about that week, how do they do that?
First and foremost, I'd say hit our website up, www.thebluefin.com. That's thebluefin.com. You can also find us on LinkedIn, Twitter/X, and Instagram and Facebook at Bluefin LCD. We'll be showcasing some new products, including a battery-powered stand. I think that's going to be very interesting for people to be able, that's literally, we're going to roll it out. You can move it wherever you want it. And some other options. And so look forward to having people come by. If they can't, we'll also do a booth recap. That's been very popular, where you'll be able to see video footage and also vignette by vignette breakdowns so that you can kind of see what you're interested in learning more about.
Very cool. All right. We will see Erin at InfoComm. For us, for AVNation, go by our website, avnation.tv. That's avnation.tv, and follow along as we also head to Las Vegas for InfoComm 2026, June 17th through the 19th. All that and more at avnation.tv. That's avnation.tv.